Hey, I'm gonna drift a scud, a couple double scud rig today on Lake Taneycomo. Today is July 30th, 2026, and they're running 3 units. And this is a big old scud. This is tied on a 200R hook, number 10, and I've got some orange Ancron yarn underneath the dubbing, not weighted. Somebody cleaned some fish today with some, well, they didn't clean fish. Gotta clarify my story here. They caught some fish this morning and were coughing up very large scuds, like number 10 size scuds. $200R there, as you saw, they're longer, kind of a bent back, longer hook style, and it's supposed to look like a scud that's swimming, and when they swim they spread out and are long when they swim. And I've been using 200R hooks for a little while. I know Blake and some of the other guides have been using them too, and I do pretty good. Smaller ones like 14s, but number 10's pretty big. They started the water this afternoon, about 1 or 2 I think, and I know that we've already given away at least 3 trophy certificates, fish being caught up here today. Trophies over 20, 24, not sure what they were. I'm going to check the flies. I'm not sure. I haven't fished up here in a while. I don't know how bad. Yeah, it's not bad at all. There's no moss. I know the moss is starting to collect pretty good downstream, especially below Fall Creek. And oh, by the way, the water temp right now is a little over 50 degrees, so that water's starting to warm up a bit. As I explained this morning on one cast, Table Rock's just kind of like a big bathtub. In the wintertime, the water gets cold, you know, drops down in the 30s, and then, if it gets real cold, but 40s. And even, well, the water on the bottom gets cold. Summer rolls around and the water on top gets warmer and warmer and it starts to drop. Well, they pull this water out of Table Rock Dam at 130 feet. So it's pulling that cold water out. After a while, you've pulled out all the cold water and it starts getting warmer and warmer and less oxygen. DO content starts to drop. I've not checked the DO content this year yet. The fish are still biting good, they're still fighting good, so there's no reason for me to think that that's getting bad yet. So there is a good population of rainbows have been stocked here lately below Fall Creek, and when the water's off, they're catching those on night crawlers and fire bait. The best has been really a paste, either white or yellow. Water's still pretty clear, so I'd use 2-pound line if you can. 4 pounds should be fine. And then a pink worm under a float, a Berkeley pink worm, 4 foot deep. Still no moss. No bites either. Yeah, these scuds, this is an experiment. I was just hoping it might attract a bigger trout, actually. I've been throwing a jig, and to be honest, I've not done very good. When the water starts running, drifting, gulp, power bait, below Fall Creek, I just left the dock and there's a couple boats out there, one guide, one private boat, and they were drifting power bait out there and they all had fish on. Seems to be a lot of fish down around Monkey Island in the landing. If you're having trouble catching fish, try to drop down to a 2-pound line. Just tie a piece of 2-pound line onto your 4-pound or even 6-pound, like 3 foot long, and that's where you put your hook and your bait. That's going to help your odds of catching fish if they get line shy. This is rather disappointing. I thought I'd have some fish. I thought I'd have some bites. A lot of the guys are using the Provo rig, but I've been drifting it straight like this. I've got it rigged the same way with the weight on the bottom and then coming up 18 inches and tying a drop shot loop tie it on the fly. I'm using 6X, not 6X, 6-pound Vanish fluorocarbon for my tippet material. Something Blake does, and he showed me it's what he does. These fish are well educated or what, but I've got another rod with smaller scuds on it. I might just toss that out there. Told Cody when you get a bite, you know it, because these fish are being super aggressive. They want it, they hit it hard. There's no pecking around or anything. I just don't. Yeah. Well, that orange really comes through. See, when they die, they're crustaceans, so when they die, they turn orange like a crawdad. And then when they're pregnant, their eggs, which they have under their tail like a crawdad, are orange also. So a lot of times we'll use orange thread to tie a scud. That way you've got a little bit of orange. Okay, I've got some smaller scuds, and I've been catching them with these scuds. So let's just see if it's a scud or if it's, yeah, I need to put a smaller weight on here. The weight was a little bit too big. For 3 units. If it's 4, then I keep that bigger weight on. Not many people up here. There's one boat above me, and then Brett Rader is leaving. And I haven't been up here quite a while. Seems like most of the guides are staying from lookout down and drifting scuds. Anyhow, just a couple of weeks ago, the water temp was about 47, so like I said, it's starting to warm up. It'll probably go to 51 or 52 here in the next 3 weeks. They are running a fair amount of water when it gets hot in the afternoons for power. We're supposed to get some real high. Saturday is like 79, which is pretty awesome. But then it's right back in the hundreds next week. Oh, that might have been a fish. I might have just missed one. I'm checking. I'm good. that 6-pound fluorocarbon, I noticed, and I'm pretty sure this is why Blake uses it, is the fluorocarbon line is a lot stiffer. I think I just picked up a bunch of moss. And it holds those flies out away from the main line instead of it wrapping around that main line and not being kind of free to move around and look like a real bug. The fly fishing with the water off, I got out this morning, but they started running water early, so I didn't really get to fly fish much. And what I did was not good. It was slow this morning. This guy's got in the water up there. Yeah, it's cold. I would think they were midging pretty good this morning, so I'd think a zebra midge would work really well if they leave the water off. I want to hopefully get out next couple of days with the waters off, and I am not bumping bottom very good. There we go. That wind's blowing up lake, so I gotta be careful not to go too slow. I've noticed some people trolling, especially down from Monkey Island down, and I think they're doing pretty good. I'd troll a kind of a medium-size jerkbait, something that doesn't deep, goes down maybe 3 or 4 feet, and go real slow. I caught a fish. Below the narrows, right next to that tree in the water. First fish from the dam all the way down here. And he's gone. Ooh, I just had another bite. So all the fish are down here below the narrows. No, they just... actually get a little bit weary of trying to second guess these fish and explain why they're doing what. Well, I'm almost to Fall Creek. The fishing report I gave at the beginning of this drift is going to be my fishing report that will link up to the newsletter we send out, along with maybe a couple of little snippets of when I got a bite or something on my drift down here. Not very fruitful, but I don't think I mentioned if the temperatures get cooler, they're not going to run as much water. I don't know if they're going to go, go to that 35 megawatts half unit or water off. My guess is the water's going to be off most of Saturday, the 1st. We'll see. But on in the next week, it's going to be either 35 in the morning, half unit, and then either 150 or 200 megawatts, 3 or 4 units in the evening for power demand. But the temperature is going to dictate what they run. So anyhow, I got a fish. I'm down by Fall Creek Marina. I actually thought I was going to hook one of their buoys. So I had to drop out of the trophy area to catch a fish. Crazy. Ooh, he's fat. Got a bunch of scuds in his belly. Thanks for watching. We will see you again soon.